What's going on, everybody? Red Velvet's back in the studio with the Dinerpod, and I have two special guests in studio, Coach Mark Raetz and Coach Jordan Forquer. Welcome back. Your guys are approaching a record now. This is the third time. Third time. No problem. No problem. We are coming off of our jamboree, and it was a big one. We got to be at Northview for the first time probably since the 90s. So thank you, Coach, for making that happen. Thank you for making it happen as well.
Yeah, thanks for Northview for having us. We're real appreciative. I think it went real smooth. Parking particularly went well. And we're super thankful for Northview letting us be there.
Absolutely. We are 1 year removed from a merger of the two Clay County leagues coming back together. How do you feel like weathering that storm, how all that went?
I think from the beginning, it took a group effort. Everybody was all in from the beginning, and I think the first year we found out some things that we needed to fix, and those things that were put into place this year. I think that, in the next couple of years, you'll really see the growth for when the kids get into high school about what we're doing with the CYFL.
Okay. Coach, you got anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it went well. Nothing's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But I do see, even watching the jamboree on Saturday, I felt like I saw some retention from last year, especially with our senior league kids. I mean, it actually looked like watching Northview offense, Northview defense. And, I think overall the coaches have done a great job trying to implement our systems and do what we're asking. And like Jordan said, I think you'll kind of see the payout a couple years from now. It might not just be immediate, but I do think down the road it's definitely going to pay off.
Absolutely. And that's what I told you last year, because you received some messages from some haters, and you're like, what's wrong? I said, hey, guess what? This is year one. There's really no wrong way. There's just trial and error, and that's the good thing about it.
Right.
So, but you've learned, you've seen what worked, what might have worked, what didn't work, and you've adjusted. And I think this year is going to be great. Can you go into detail about the conference, how all that works? Because I know there's a lot of people with questions that I know. At least I have questions.
Yeah, so, we joined the conference last year in which we played teams that were already in the WIC that we play in high school. Edgewood joined this year. So last year we played Sullivan, Owen Valley, West Vigo, ourselves. Am I missing anybody on our side? I don't think so. And then we added Edgewood, and then we had a playoff where we played the other side. And the other side is South Putnam, Cloverdale, Cascade, Greencastle, Monrovia's in it. Okay. Monrovia's in it. So this year we're going to play out of a playoff on each side.
Okay.
A North versus South in the Super Bowl, kind of like the AFC versus NFC in the NFL. So we won't do any cross games, and we also have some fill-in games with the Terre Haute Boys and Girls Club. Bobby has a good relationship with Mark and myself, and we didn't want to have a full schedule, so we have a full schedule at each level, 7 games for each team, Pee-wee through senior. So with the conference, I feel like, you have that rivalry, like you do at the high school level, and we're not just playing against each other. And it's more of a camaraderie, unity with Knights versus everybody else.
Clay County versus the world.
Yep, Clay County versus the world. But we still have the old school tradition where we still play each other,
exactly.
Which I think is still good. And with so many teams, most of our teams have 4 to 5 home games. So we're still over there on North Meridian playing games every Saturday.
Yep. Well, and there's been some changes made to that field at North Meridian.
Yeah.
Go into detail about that?
Yeah, so obviously, there lots of people know that we received a grant from the Wabash Valley Community Foundation, and through fundraising last year with our calendar and lots of donations, we were able to build a new concession stand and then also a press box. And our bathrooms are finished. This coming Friday, everything will be completed. We just got some minor finishing details, cosmetic things. But it's pretty nice.
It is nice. It's nice that the press box is finally air conditioned again.
It is.
There's been a lot of hot summers, a lot of falls up there.
Yeah, we got a new PA system through donation. We've had a lot of community outreach, and it took a village. I tell you that.
Absolutely, and that it's going to be a fun year. So definitely come out to the CYFL in the next 7 weeks? Your regular season 7 weeks.
Next week's week 1, and all of our teams play at home.
Ooh, it's the home opener. Everybody's playing at home. I'll be on the mic. Be there. We're gonna have fun. So yeah, that's your all-star program coming off Mid-State last year.
Yeah, last year, a little recap. All 3 of our levels made it to the championship at Mid-State Rec. Our 4th grade team won state, and 5th and 6th grade was runner-up, which is a huge accomplishment, especially from our area where we're playing teams in the metro Indianapolis area. So I feel like that's a huge thing for our league and our community.
Absolutely. Well, while we got Coach here, we're going to also do a preview of the upcoming season for Northview. How's things shaping up right now?
Well, right now we're kind of on a little dead week, but we've had a busy summer. We lost some linemen from last year. Is the big place where we got to replace some starters. As you know, one of your son was your son was one of them. But I do think our kids have worked hard this summer. Talking with Coach Maroney and being in the weight room, I do think we had a great summer in the weight room. One thing that happens in the summer is there's always people gone on vacation or at camp, or they're sick or this or that. So it kind of forces you to shuffle some guys around, maybe try some people out in spots that maybe you wouldn't normally think that they might play. Like a kid who normally plays guard might have to play tackle one day, or a kid that normally plays free safety might have to play strong safety, or kind of forces you to develop some depth. And so I think overall it was good. We had some competition days we went against Mooresville early in the summer. I felt like we got better from that. We went to Indiana State team camp and went against Castle High School all day. And that was very productive. We went to the Wabash Valley 7-on-7 tournament. We were kind of up and down that day. But at the end of the day, I do feel like it was beneficial. And then we went to the Danny Etling camp, which Danny is still playing. He played for me back at Terre Haute South. And then we had a referee scrimmage right when we got back from break, where we went against Terre Haute North, Terre Haute South, and West Vigo.
Nice.
Unfortunately, we had a scrimmage right at the end of the summer. It was going to kind of cap the whole summer, scheduled with Plainfield and Danville, that I thought would be really good because those are both going to be good teams this year. And I felt like we'd progress through July, but it got canceled due to the heat that we have.
And it's a little different for me now because I'm not there as a parent anymore, but I'm excited for the upcoming season. You have some schedule changes now. You've got Speedway, week 2?
Correct.
And then you're facing South Putnam and Linton at the end of the year.
Yep. So, there's been some conference realignment.
Yeah.
There's a new conference that developed called the Monon Conference. So Greencastle and Cascade, they all went to that league. So we lost those games. And then Indian Creek joined another conference over in the Indy area. So we lost them. So like you said, we replaced Greencastle week 2 with Speedway, which we're going to open up their new turf, which their new turf is really cool if you haven't seen it. Yeah. They kind of set it up like the Motor Speedway.
Ooh.
We're going to open up their turf week 2. Week 7, we're going to play South Putnam and place a Cascade, which South Putnam made to the Final Four last year in Class 1A. And, they always have good players and have a very tradition-rich program. And then week 9, to replace Indian Creek, we picked up Linton, and we have to go to Linton. And they have most of their team back from a team that made to the state championship game. So we feel like our schedule's challenging. We still play Terre Haute North and Terre Haute South, which are schools much larger than us. There's been some shuffling over there in Terre Haute with coaching changes and things like that. So, it's going to be an interesting schedule, and we're definitely going to have our work cut out for us.
Absolutely. And looking ahead at the WIC, you got Vincennes Lincoln coming in next year, and we'll have a rivalry renewed. And then,
that's going to be that'll be a big game. It's a year from now, so we're not really focusing on it at this point. But I know in years past, and when I first came to Northview, we played Vincennes Lincoln, and I felt like it was a really good game. Very similar players, similar kids, similar tradition. I think that's going to be a huge game. That's going to replace the Speedway game. We're just playing Speedway for 1 year. So Vincennes Lincoln will come into that week 2 slot. So I kind of wish it was later in the year. But, I think bringing them into the league is going to be a huge positive for everybody.
Absolutely. Those were always fun games to be in. And I never got to play in it. I was always on the bench, but they were always fun to be in. And especially do they still play at that park, that historic stadium?
Yes, they play in an old stadium there in the park. Yep.
It's awesome. Well, I'm excited for this year. One of your linemen was actually at the house last night hanging out, and he was Norman, Stormin Norman. But he's a good kid. I'm excited for the future of Northview football, especially with what you're doing down in the farm league, the development of the kids. It's nice to see it's all one big machine coming up together. And I can't wait to see what the fifth and sixth graders now will be like as juniors and seniors. And then especially those Pee Wee kids, they'll have 10, 12 years of offense all the way up.
Yeah, I was talking to my wife Taylor last night, and she's like, what's the class that's going to come all the way through that would be in the system? And it's going to be the second graders that play this year. Some of them played last year, and so they'll have their entire youth league running the system, and then they get to junior high with Coach Hope, who does the same thing that we do at the high school level, and it'll be neat to see that all the way through.
And I hope to still be there for the ride, but but thank you for taking the time to hang out and talk with me. It's going to be fun. It's been a fun football's. I said it on my recording earlier. Football's the greatest sport in the world because you have to work together and you have to learn on the fly, or else you're going to get beat up. And that's what football's about. And it makes people face challenges pretty quickly.
Yep.
So thank you. Real quick, I want to thank our sponsors for making this even possible. Wabash Valley Plumbing, Peak Performance Gym, RJ's Formal Wear, Stitched Embroidery and Apparel, and Everhope Co. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to our subscribers. And just remember, for less than a cup of coffee per month, you can support the Dinerpod. Just click that subscribe button on Facebook, and thank you. But thank you again, guys. We're out of here. Keep pushing. Take care.